Professor Charles Chukuma Soludo Odenibo. Tuoni Odenibo. Yes. Nata 100 and something million naira when they clean offices. Na eme ife ni Anambra so we simba. Na getinye ga ebe o ga aba lokalia e puru ndu ye down until he got to 11 million. Tata 11 million ke ga go say if they 100 and something million na before. I can go on and on. This is the man who has come for Anambra State to see light. Obia with a lot of poise, a lot of imago. Or they are no bid to change this state to make it better. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about our governor, no less a man than Professor Charles Chukuma Soludo CFR Odenibo. On the Amawbia, the Alokata 4, Mr. Governor, it was here, Makana National Chairman, I may be Ozombo. Victor Ike Oye biko kwolo ni aka.
When I will any governor name of Manji can say our beloved governor, Mr. Governor. Nka wonkani. Nka iwe ba ugeni. So na our governor eji amount. I want to go give up an opera. If we go we may go the campaign. But what if you hear the strange? On your nana here, Mamakia. Makiva Banake, you get when you. Mr. Governor, number one, all you can do for granting us this rare opportunity to be with you. Every schedule get 4 times. When he was calling the sign, I'm not going to say, hey, go on get to come now. Was he work? The first time I was in meet, I'm quite I had the wrong quadruple. Okay, boy, I had the wrong quadruple. In case I had the case, the girl. I said, I want to know about. I said, oh, boy, I said, I can't miss. So, Mr. Governor, I am happy for the opportunity to be before you today. I'm a program I carry. I actually launch our campaign, national campaign on Saturday. Tomorrow, I have a neck meeting. Nigeria need the neck meeting. So, not easy. I want to win with other programs today. One of them can squeeze you, but okay for you people. When you make a good diva. Many communities ain't going to the opportunity. Everybody has a landlord. But government was a landlord. So I need to governor God. Because land lawyers know Land Use and Allocation Act, especially Schedule C of 1981. Even our governor. So now, Mr. Governor, they're not here. Ubo Grega. People are married Ubo Grega. Ubo Grega. Akawalega, Mr. Governor. Otego, Amawbia na. Ya poche fire. Odoka Katij. No ma Katij. Katij ya dozi. Ela ka Amawbia ede. Mana makos na Ubo Grega. Mr. Governor, I quickly. Aqua again. I quite want to real aqua. Mr. Governor, you like the one aqua, Unanda Mobia, Undudo, ga-esi na anyị wụ amaghị ọbịa ndị chọọ iderogeti anyị asị na anyị amaghị ọbịa. Anyị amara ndị ọbịa, Mr. Gọvanọ. Kpata fed na ekweghị Shedrack ji wee too here ekwe ka ọ dị. Anyị zụfụtara mmadụ. Ndị be anyị na-eme obi nwanne rinne, Mr. Gọvanọ. Onye ọbụla bịa na Amawbia, a na-ewu onye ọbụla ka onye Amawbia. Ndị awụdịghị ndị Amawbia nọcha na 8th grade anyị. Even my own 8th grade, ndị kọka nwere ndị awụrụ ndị Amawbia nọcha na 8th grade. Ela akwụkwọ na 8th grade ndị ọzọ niile. Anyị nabatara nyere ana ma na-alụ ụlọ na-aka ọrụ. Ọ wụrụ eziokwu. Onye kpatara Chineke nyere anyị ka obi anyị si wee na-azọpụta ya n'aka ndị ilo anyị. Ndị si na Amawbia ara akụ. Mr. Gọvanọ, anaghị dị na-agbụvi ele kpochegovi ya, asụchagovi ya na-anaghị ele. Onye nwa na-agbọ Jeff, ojiri anaghị na-elepi. Asị na anyị nwere mmadụ. Mr. Gọvanọ, anyị nwere mmadụ. Anyị nwere gị. Mr. Gọvanọ, ọ nwere ndị oyibo ndị na-asụ oyibo Asia threat. And threat anọgo over 150 years. Nke ikpeazụ wụ na wabịa were ana anyị na-elesi, Mr. Gọvanọ, chakwa anyị anya were ana anyị na-ele. Anyị kwụsị ike kpojere anyị polisi na Abuja. Obodo ka PG adịgo polisi. Ka mmadụ ga-esi kpacha anya ibe wu nke ọnọkpụdo ya na-achọ ụfụfụ gị na be gị, anara eme ya eme. Ọgwụkwa bụ ya ji bịa, Mr. Gọvanọ, ka na okwu na-eweta okwu. Amakwa m mgbe ọzọ m ga-abụ gị na ụdị smooth. Ana egwu nke wee eziokwu, Mr. Gọvanọ sị na one of the reasons o ji chịkọ anyị na-afọ ọfụma na ọ chọrọ inye anyị time. Ọ chọrọ inye anyị 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Mba, ị na-ya anya ka o siri hụ na ọ wụsara arụ. And ịgwa gị eziokwu, anytime bụ Mr. Gọvanọ kwuru okpuru ya dị ma na ọ wụsara arụ. Love you. Maka na election gara aga ichi weta akwụkwọ nene, we love you. Always you. 3/3 wards I need. My own more ward 3, 17/17 new polling units. One I hear them over here. We don't know Mr. Governor. Opoche the whole polling units. PS are not here. Man, I win the whole room which is Ward 1. Always you. Well, I can introduce her. When I'm wearing doors or windows, you them make. I'm going to maybe introduce because I know a confrontanity. I don't care where you can now. Nukutozo from Give money a water, Kiana. Also, also for people, many of them medical doctors today. Also Felix Nzama, also Subu. Mr. Governor, with Education Secretary or Cast out. And you whatever. So, although Ndamo across political lines, I see not the jobs of people. Governor, you took more better second. Nobody know for the nine. I not come no, but I'm Malandini through this place. Mbeke State, 1991, 27th of August, 1991. The first governor here, Christopher Apollo. Honor here. Nochana, a Garba. Onochana, Ewetu Emmanuel Ukebu, Maki Bere. Ibinanti Ibere, Onocha here na happily. As if I were batando to Nocha po, Mbanujo Bata 4, Ingidia Bata 4, Peter Bibia 4, go on Batazian. From here where God will launch you. So if ife ọgwụ na iche ime n'obodo a mee confident na onwere ibe na-eme anyị kwụrụ n'azụ we will never disappoint you. Ụgbọ gịrịga a na-ekwu n'elu ga-echekwebe gị, Chukwu ga nọ n'elu na-echekwa gị. Ndị ilo ga agara avụ gị agakwa avụ anyị nwa, onye sị na ya agara ebi ọ gara ebi ọbịa ga-egbu ya buru ụzọ gbuo onwe ya. Ekpere ka anyị ekpere dị ga-emezuru ya karịa ka yọrọ n'aha nke Nna na nke Ọkpara na nke Mmụọ Nsọ.
Ndị your host community ka national chairman na-ekwu ichetara na ọ sị na otegokwa na anyị kaba anyị mara gọvanọ nọ and anyị na plan ka anyị bịafọ gọvanọ maka anyị mara nnọọ ife kwesị omume. During your inauguration I tikwa a full advert in the paper na congratulate you and etu esi wee tụọ vote ifugokwu na Amawbia dị fully and solidly behind you and apga. So na anyị na-asị na ọ dị mma na ka anyị bịa ka anyị na gị nọkọ nke ịfụ anyị iru ka anyị nwafụkwu oge iru ọnya m ife anyị wee bịaba njem a. Ọtụtụ mmadụ n'ebe a nọ na your gọọmenti so ị maara ọfụma mana m na-agakwa n'iru mee introduction to ndị aka akpọrọ afafa ka wee mee ife. So mbido with Amawbia. He was a manager na Zenith Bank. Yeah. Chukwu na-enye these waters, you know, and I'm here. Yes. And one of the when Naimia and I'm an no bakota ka anyị na-eme ka anyị wee mee ife otega anya aka dị ije mana ichete anyị lụzuo awa igwe so anyị mechego n'ife si na the last of father and the rest of them ka na-awọ up wee na-aga to the next stage ije go through the process of selecting a new igwe. So no etu anyị si wee bịa njem a anyị ji ọjị anyị bụ etu isi wee prioritize ya ife ị na-eme bido with security anyị fụ etu isi wee tackle ya. A na-emezi sit at home today ndị otu anyị ka na-ejezi ọrụ so nwezibe dịka one sit at home etu esi wee gba Christmas. Before now a na-ekwu ma ya nata ma ama nnata so na ịtọọchị on the most fundamental thing first which is security of lives and property. Anyị ga-na-eyi etu isi wee secure that space for us. Anyị ga-ekwe gị na ịna-anya etu esi eme mkpoche because all one place ịkpa aka immediately bido ọrụ. Anyị ma etu osi wee gaa n'Ọnịcha for etu isi wee clear that place. Anyị dị very happy in na-aga na every day na Amawbia a na-enwe vehicles na-clear refugees and everything. So now the roads are clean and health is wealth. So a dirty city, Apga city to be reckoned with, a dirty town, a dirty state, and it's so important aka na that fundamental place, and I appreciate it bringing them that aspect. I know anya maybe again baka n'ife gbasa etu esi aga movement. So you dealt with it at two levels. In terms of increasing the number of people na manage the traffic. Biakwa buying tools, and it's on record today. Just in a space of 10 months, we are talking about 251 kilometers of road. That is 57. That is massive by all standards. And I know why you get na that space because na way back at Pachalanya na Amawbia, and I'm now our own national chairman. Again, I'm gonna call on that. So now anyị bịakwa n'anya fụ etu isi eme n'ife gbasara youths and the empowerment program. Because in our the money, don't do this, don't do that. The question of who can the alternatives in a provide. So it goes a lot of passion in providing alternatives. So that when they messy in Kaderoma, I say I work about human options. You know, the 5,000 teachers he employ is unprecedented. That plan is on. I think the numerous skill acquisition and empowerment program that I launched. Currently, only a program closing the gap and providing options in terms of empowerment. So now, you are really tackling at the key issues. Anambra State to really open up. Because people weigh options. They will have less need to get into things here. And I need reading Makankafu. I think if around beautification of the environment, you have taken that as a very serious part of your government program. And I can agree because now there are certain things now in ego see quality of leadership. And that's cleanliness. They pattern you want fresh breath. I now have structures. You now have to see or the order and when so I can agree for that. And now as somebody people oriented, you know, and they very much interested. They tackle the myriad of challenges and I am with that. So I can agree for all this. I say na ya bia ka anyị bia ka anyị na gị nọkọ ka anyị kene gị. On our own, I have a few needs. Already, National Chairman apga kind of one of them. We have challenges of land grabbers coming up to play where they don't have to play. Right from since 1962, if it was a boundary definition between us and our neighbors, a well-defined, and we had a Privy Council judgment to that effect that nailed the issue around boundary delineations. And but in recent times, we are seeing people coming in to play foul games. Another one about the organic fertilizer, the main organic fertilizer. If I have a project that President Olusegun Obasanjo approved in 5 states before, and then added one for the Southeast. He added that one because the Director General of that agency, Amawbia, Professor Okonkwo, and he midwifed before Bonabasa the organic fertilizer using name, which is Alkodogonyaro, the organic fertilizer. This project, a commission on Ebidonye, approved in 2006. And it was supposed to be driven through, it was supposed to be a partnership between the federal government, the state government, and then, of course, the community. The community was to provide the land, federal government was to provide the equipment, state government was to provide the buildings. The community provided the land, the state government started building the infrastructure, Ebido booted the machines, but somewhere along the line, this project truncated and it was never commissioned. And there is so much, you know, to get from this project. One, only soil friendly. So in terms of helping to retain the soil compartment on the dam, In the crops that come out from art are crops that are exportable because they are coming from an organic base. So here there were challenges in terms of marketing these products internationally. In this is one project here, Omeke, or cover the southeast in terms of we provide fertilizer at the right time. Because currently, our time for planting na southeast versus the north, everybody say with the inorganic fertilizers, the different. So when our farmers we see the ready, and they are ready, these fertilizers are they come a bit too late. But if it is being done in our district, or be on time. And this is one project that doesn't take much to really deliver. And it has an average revenue base of about 500 million naira. It brings employment. It has what we call byproducts that you can market. And there are so much that goes with it in terms of value creation. So, I know your policy for that you want to drive some project through the PPC there. So we are hypothetically in this program, this project. The key thing there is to partner with the state government, being the public, having some private folks, because we already have people on ground that will provide both the fund and the expertise to run that. So, if I need the book, can remove currently the encumbrance they are associated with that project, because there are contractual issues that are there. If that is untangled, then the rest is easy. The fund to run it, the expertise to run it, is all we can mobilize that and make it to happen. So, now a key project for us. The other project, of course, is the Skill Acquisition Center, which was started off but never got commissioned. We want to have that place operationalized because it goes in line with empowerment and training of our youths and our women. And it is also in line with your policy of getting our youths into useful space. So now, these are two key programs I lay on your table. We had before submitted a proposal to this effect through the Commissioner for Agriculture on that new project. And we also have a copy of that for you. So, Mr. Governor, on behalf of Anambra community, I can agree where now saying that people down it is where number time when I appreciate it. We're for the number of times each on your own. And from here, higher realms, onto higher glory. That will be on behalf of our community. We welcome you.
Thank you. Wonderful. No. Cow, I was walking wonderful. We used to hear about the if your neighbors the Jemba and Ozompu has elaborated on a few of them. Kids also know Ekene. Gratitude. Our chairman mentioned it, and the PG mentioned it. You can own for your massive support on when no law. 3 words. Well, yes. 3 words now Amawbia. Fachacha green. Kajim result neither. Green. So no one when no law. Thank you for employing me. Thank you. I can't know, but I must have St. Matthew's Amawbia. I was in my parish, and if any Nekulu, well, if any Koga, to be honest with you, it would give us your enego m ife ụzọ ife Igbo aka ikwu ife fertilizer na ife gbasara skill acquisition. Ndị a bụ nọ ọ bụrụ na kọmishọna ya for youth anyị ya kịta akpa maka nke ife gbasara the skill acquisition. Kedu ebe ọ nọ? Ke stage ọ nọ kịta? Enwego the building. Nọọsụ gịnị?
Nọọsụ ka o nwere some aka a little bit of the repairs.
Kedu capacity ya? As I was saying, I think at the session technical session I went here yesterday on revenue. Anambra it's an economy of about 5.5 trillion naira economy. That's the income, the Anambra, on an annual basis, the estimate for last year. But how much did we contribute to government to transform the society? Barely 20 billion. About 0.2% or so. 0% of the income, the Anambra. It then means that about 98%, 99.8% now in the private hands. 20 billion. Ilo si amansi, where job of family. Nilo si amansi, where say well ufuma. They almost 30 billion. So even in I contribute to even the Anambra Tokota, any government to do the job. Can't do 2 roads in a year. This is to put the context. And I'm trying to explain why the public, community, private partnership is so critical especially at this stage where we are trying to take off, until we go to that level where government will have even 5% of the resources. When the Anambra will contribute just 5% of their income to the government to do something, we'll be close to 275 or more billion in a year. 5%. But all societies, all countries are not on a rapid transformation path. Tax to GDP ratio of 22% or higher. Or not. But you go back in history, because went back to history. In the First Republic, the cities of Onitsha, Enugu, Calabar, Port Harcourt, Aba, and so on, all the roads done, electricity on, pipe-borne water running, everywhere planned with taxes paid by peasant farmers, or the peasant farmers, because agriculture, there was no commercial agriculture, peasant farmers. By 2029, it will be exactly 100 years, the Aba women. Because since February last year, NMPC has not remitted a kobo to Federation account. Rather than borrow yourself when you just subsidize petrol. When the cases, Abra ways and means advances, federal government knowing about 20 or 20 something trillion, when I went there from central bank and so on. Federal government will not be able to do much. In fact, I'm not even sure they will be able to pay even salaries. So this is where we are. I'm just trying to explain to you why the issue of community-private partnership with the public sector, so that the paltry thing now in the hand of the public sector can now get down. And part of what we want to do for our people, but to tell our people it's what
Because part of the challenge with raising revenue is that government has for decades lied to the people. Because the social contract between the government and the people, but that the people themselves elect a few persons to be into government. What is their job? To provide those things that private individuals will not be able to provide for themselves. They're called public goods, security, law, and order. Each person cannot go ahead to provide it for himself. So it's the principal job of government. Public infrastructure. Everybody I made yellow laws yaba. But I are collectively. They maintain here collectively. Everybody I may collect, I may with a refuse here. Mbochie, everybody code. In modern times, not anymore. Bochie in a village during the Civil War. I naza mbalaza itete as duty or shift to kanzo nyoko. Nya we to ana ono na anade. Amawbia na ade. Abagobi inside uzo. Even uzo they said of one name ba keke na pepe bo ama acha n'uzo. Mbo maka na adrozi. Una nwere ana we na-ekwukwu nke na na-eje eme encroach. Encroach nke wana adịrọ. So private individuals can do this. So they got people in turn, when they have, after electing people, they part with a part of their income, surrender to the government to provide those services. Now, people have forgotten. Okay, you must elect PG. Na line na live PG ka ife na alo na enu roads needed na Amawbia nwere nke atala ata je tawilo no eme tawilo PG lubilo PG control over erosion PG na certificate Amawbia lusia inyi se na azia no ha ya no ndị mmadụ ka fa na street sweepers ka na aza street provided ịnakwa na ya anything no. Provided nobody is going to contribute to anything. That's the way we have operated for decades. And the people in return, because they've seen ego mano na abia, they call free money, ego government, and all eyes on it, and they've seen people doing nothing and collecting the money. And so for the people, it's a pay for service. I say, that. My promise in Anambra and a couple line, I will show you if it will take time. Oma easy. Okay, Tinubu, no. Necessity was the mother of invention. The President Obasanjo's government, literally confiscated the locations going to the local governments. And so necessity forced them. They moved their IGR, internally generated revenue, from 600 million a month to 5 billion. Then, fashola, credit, now the tax man, no tax, no tax. He moved it very aggressively to almost 20 billion a month. Today, last year, they were doing about 65 billion a month. Lagos. And this year, their budget, well, I forecast, I may expect to collect 1.1 trillion from internally generated revenue. If I collect even this year's final project, okay, I move up to 4. I went a retreat here yesterday. I loom up to 4. I loom up to 4, like I'm 100. Ooh, private partnership with government. In my inaugural speech, I did make an example of Neni model, Oruku, several communities now, where this has become the mainstream. Oruku, Neni, how they began roads and so on, because individuals thought, oh, we couldn't until A bit of your government gave an incentive. If you do 2 kilometers, we do 1. And Tony Mas, may his soul rest in peace, began with proper drainages and began. Government couldn't cope. As at the time he died, he had done 18 kilometers in the small community of Nene. Then others joined and they did another 6 kilometers, bringing the total to 24 kilometers with drainages. And now they have an institution to help with repairs and maintenance, and they're now going into their primary health care, primary schools, secondary schools, and so on. I'm literally thinking of them, their community as the state government on its own, to take care of their community with what people put out. Ndoruku, they are doing the same, and several communities have now taken up. Since I assumed office, I've come to several communities to flag off roads. I missed about 2.5 kilometers in somebody man Unri. Okay, Christmas, my deputy went there to represent me, and so on. Several people have lined up to tell me, come. I think Ikengi Omuawolo said that publicly, said to me, when the government he will take care of the roads in Omuawolo and so on. Maybe after this season, also to encourage you. I've seen 1 or 2, 3 communities who've come to see me, and I would discuss this. And it's part of my, if you like, the message I'm taking to communities, to the people themselves. Taking this to the people. Because while we're trying to have an agenda, we have a plan, and we're doing the much we can, subject to the resource constraints anywhere. But we are maximizing that. We are maximizing that, the value that we are producing to the people. We are squeezing cost, cutting all waste that's possible. We are boycott all boycottables and cut all cuttables. Yeah, the example on here about facility management, that was costing 137 million a month. From 137 is down to 11. We're saving about 126 million a month, from that and so on. So 18 when we stopped, and then started gradually now paying them. So there is hope among the pensioners. So while we're trying to cut waste, cut everything, and channel every penny to maximum use, we're also calling on the citizens and communities. Let's continue the partnership. Let's strengthen this partnership like no other. In the short term, that will be very critical. Very, very critical. Over time, we are hoping that we will have to get on the path. As Lagos has done it, Kaduna has done it, Edo has done it, Rivers has done it, and several states have now begun on that path, trying to reconnect the social contract, that the people you pay for service. We're very much in fundamental response. We're ready, because on the 2 things you ask for partnership. And that's why I'm stressing this point. On the skill acquisition center, I must tell you, this is, I think it became a fad, a sort of fashion at some point, that literally every community has a skill acquisition center. Private individuals, skill acquisition center, this and that. What would then say to you, so part of what they are doing, the youths ministry, it's process of probably accreditation. Accreditation now, because I'm not quite sure, the state government will come to build skill acquisition center. No, we'll partner with yours if you have one. If you have one that is usable, they will come and inspect it and see are they appropriate for use Because we're training about 5,000 youths now are receiving training across the entire state.
1U2 skills.
We're pursuing what we call 1U2 skills agenda. And then finishing, we said we're going to set aside about a few billions, and that's our partnership with the Bank of Industry also, to empower them so they can go in to become job creators rather than job seekers, as it were. Now, as we're doing that, so they will be partnering with skill acquisition centers all over. What if he was here now and remind me, okay, because it was started as a 3-party contract. So you put up your finger on it that there might be contractual issues. You provided the land, the state government was to provide some infrastructure, and then the federal government some equipment. And what equipment is able to?
Not carried through.
Not carried.
In a situation where we have individuals, get provided and also run it. So no. Nwoke Amawbia je meeting ụmụnna na-alara ụlọ na-eme ibe a nakọta okunite n'anya onye nke na-ekwu owenye aka na-asị ya kwuo nke ya okwuru nke ọbọdịlị topic a na-ekwu because it's a low-hanging fruit, very low-hanging fruit. Ụdị a ka ọ gara ọ bụrụ na ọ dị one even if I go say it myself, akpọta ndị a dị ready to deal with it. For me, federal government, we'll have to unlock this thing. You know, federal government don't want to the state government don't want to. Let's restructure the contract and get it to go. What is our interest? Our primary interest is let it get working, people get jobs, and we add value to our people. That's it. Part of the stuff I'm aware about road, and I will come to Amawbia. Monia, we've discussed Obasa Road. The road thing, much of the roads I'm aware kita. I am Abatabara largely, very rarely kind on an intra-community road. You understand what I mean? Yes. Yeah, maybe so Ilo Amawbia. The name Amawbia, you know, start and terminate in the community. I know the first phase, most of the first phase, but this strategic roads, so they are cut. But I commissioned the, flagger of the Amansi, Benebu, Buenova, Well family. There were tears. In fact, it was such an emotional day. You know, one of my appointees in the agency Aleba, the Anekubo road na local government here. Manake agency Aleba say flag here not as a biko. So they are not over Godon Kendia. Because we had a road crisis. Anambra still has a road crisis. Major road crisis. So if for this, but today, as we speak, that 27-kilometer road from Amansi to Abo family is motorable because we first of all decided it has to be cleared and made motorable. And now they promised us that by end of March they would have asphalted up to 15 kilometers. Amawbia, but a special case. I want to tell you that it's your own. It's your own. Amawbia not easy. No. But a PG, the first thing I'll leave you, I forgot it, but I want to add it. In the light of this community partnership mentioned, I would like you all day. No, not Annie, all day. I was going to tell Mandi Ocha, I'm glad na Celestine, is in the Ocha. And our operation clean and healthy Anambra. And I'll be enforcement. But the waste management, I set in for a committee. I'm sure by the next 2 weeks we will have a comprehensive plan.
But that plan, Madam Celestine, but that plan will include community, government, and local government and state partnership. You know, I told a story. I said, it was Aza everywhere. Because if each community is clean, the entire state will be clean. Oh, yeah. So it's important also, Ejo, question, what is the community doing to keep Amawbia clean? Orientation and so on, and then where do we put it together, where then government will come and collect them, and so on and so forth. We need to simulate these things in a planned way. Because this idea, that's not, we're going to get onto a system even of collecting house to house. Or we're going to house to house or in a community, and we're a central receptacle, and we'll kind of bring the mechanism of bringing them there so we can now come and take them. Because we must, cleanliness is next to godliness, and we must have a very clean society. I'm only pointing out now, even community at the community level, I believe the market thereby. Like I told the story, that's the park Ebamba, my first vehicle. What do we do about it now? We're going to have a very important conversation. There are all manner of suggestions coming, what to do with it. Some even come up with a massive entertainment park, with all kinds of things and all manner of ideas. But we need to come with something, ideas that will be audacious, that can change the entire landscape and bring, drive either traffic or whatever thing to Amawbia. Or we can, let's come up with some way, let's begin to think. In Amawbia, in terms of people who come with all manner of, let's play with ideas. Because ultimately, Ebageme will bucket it. And what is fit here? And where thoughts, even suggestions, and where prisons, the Titi Leba, the Titi Road Eba. I visited the place. I don't know, prison, I don't really look at this place, find somewhere else more removed from the heart of the city. If I fertilize that thing very urgently and get that to happen. And then the skill acquisition center, get the Anambra, come and take a look at it, and then work with him to get it ready. He will get it ready. He will make it usable. I make it the usable. The runner usable. This is I say maybe a whole lot of them. Why the inaugurating Honorable Dozier one was on the other day. I don't know. I say center, skill acquisition and ICT center cover. Not in floors. Wherever ICT floor, where skill acquisition center floor, was there by the office complex, and so on. All this, everybody is asking, come, we have it ready, come and use. So we want this also. I said, so more yes, we could say Anambra. Nyabia baba Amawbia. I had to go ready. So